teams in SEC play. It's LSU and Texas A&M, but only one has a
This is a lot of football to be played here in the month of November. But as we say around here, the games in November are the ones you remember. Our first goal is to go win an SEC championship. And that's what we're striving for.
That's why we come to Texas. As a little kid, you live to play in these type of games in this atmosphere. They're going to be loud, they're going to be rowdy, they're going to be energetic.
It's going to be a dogfight, four-quarter game.
We have to play physical and we have to execute. Trust in the culture that we've developed.
There's a standard, and that's the way we're playing it in there.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How are you, Derek?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Doing good.
I am pumped.
Take it away.
So we got a big guest tonight. Got a Division I cornerback from Atascocita, signed with the University of Texas El Paso. Great stadium. I don't know if you've ever seen the stadium. I love the stadium.
I have not seen it. I think we had talked about it.
We had talked about it. The bleachers kind of built into the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing. So I guess without further ado, man, let's kind of get his intro in. Let's get him in here.
Hey, give me the chip. I need the championship. Wait, we got a dream. Next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am. Who don't understand? Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy say that's overdue. My brain finna be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true. They couldn't walk a mile or even fit into my.
Oh, what's going on, man? Oh, there it is.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
how you doing?
How y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you? Man, we're
doing
super
very
excited
good.
you're coming on with us. Appreciate you taking some time out and
Yeah,
come
man,
hang out with us.
We've been waiting on this interview.
Inviting me on here.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. So man, kind of start off telling us kind of like your high school career, your background. Have you always been in the same high school, or have you moved around some, or kind of give us a little background of yourself?
Well, yeah, my freshman and sophomore year, I had started at Clown Forest, and then towards the end of my sophomore year, going into spring ball, I had moved to Atascocita to move over here, and just had moved in the area, and Atascocita was the closest school to me, so I had moved up here to go to Atascocita, and it's been great since then.
Where exactly is that at?
Clown Forest or Atascocita?
No, Atascocita.
It's in Humble, Texas.
Humble.
Oh, it's in Humble. Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
That's close to. Is that close to Houston?
Yeah, it's just like 20 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
but
so that's not far
pretty
from
close
Houston.
down that area.
Yeah. That's awesome. So was that move just like a family move, or was that a football move for you?
It was a family move.
Okay. What was the were the school sizes about the same, or was one bigger than the other?
Atascocita was bigger. It was a much bigger stage for me because it's better competition. Knowing that the district I coming out the toughest district.
Also, Atascocita's in the tougher district down there.
Yes, it's probably
okay.
one of the toughest districts in Houston.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
okay.
some good. There's definitely some good schools down there. What was one of your favorite teams to play against in high school? Who was that receiver you were looking to lock down?
The receiver I was looking to lock down, I don't say it was a go-to receiver for me looking into lock down. Just every week, just a better opponent.
Just next man up type thing.
Yes, sir.
But you was picking the best one, right? I see you picking the best one on the field. You was just gonna lock him down. I already can see it. I see it on your face.
Yes, sir.
You was about to be out there like Jalen Ramsey, just locking them down.
So, when did kind of the recruiting thing start for you? Was it early? Was it kind of late?
Junior season of spring ball is when all my recruiting took off.
It all took off? Okay. What? Who were some of the
sophomore year? It was taking off, but it had slowed down since I had transferred, and they were saying they wanted to see me at my new school. They wanted to get all my new friends and stuff, so they didn't check me out to the spring ball.
Okay. What are some schools that kind of offered you that maybe surprised you, or just somebody else other than UTEP?
Oregon State.
Oregon State. Okay,
that's a big one.
Too far of a move, or just didn't feel right up there?
Sir,
was it just too far of a move, or did it not just feel right up there?
UTEP just came at me with a whole UTEP just felt home, and the coaching staff there, I was just ready to build my legacy there with them. So that's really why I chose over the UTEP.
Did you take an official visit to Oregon State? Did you ever make a trip up there, or no?
No, sir. I never made a trip up there.
Was UTEP the only school you really visited because you were just kind of sold on them just from the jump after talking to them?
Yes, sir.
How was that visit for you over there?
That visit was good. I went in during the summer not knowing I was going to commit, and as I went into there, they just flipped the switch and made me want to commit.
Did you commit on spot?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. I love those when those commit on spot, because you saw something there that made you want to do that, and that I think that's cool. That's what's so important about, I think, the in school visit is, I mean, you hear a lot of kids that, when I stepped on campus, I knew, so I'm committing, and I always think that's a pretty cool side of the recruiting aspect of it. So I kind of been talking with your dad a little bit, and I know y'all had a game last weekend, but you didn't get to play because the coaches, you were coming off an injury. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was coming off an injury.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I'll talk about it. I had broke my foot in a 7-on-7 game that our school team was in. Due to that, me breaking my foot, it had pushed my senior season back in. And it just pushed my senior season back in. I came later into the year.
How many games did you end up in the season?
I just played 3 games.
Oh wow! How was that? How was that on you mentally? Was that a rough year, especially being your senior year? You're getting ready to, you're already committed, and then you break your foot. I mean, kind of walk us through that. Did you have to have surgery and
Yes, I had to have surgery. I actually didn't start back walking on my foot till the first day of school.
Oh, wow. So you were down all summer.
All summer, yeah.
Yes, I missed the whole summer because it happened literally the day before summer started.
Wow.
It was
getting back out there. Does that was it kind of nervous for you until you got hit that first time? I mean, just not knowing, planting on your foot and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. It was a very hard thing to do because due with the injury I had tissue built up in my foot, and I have to get all that work out of there. So as we doing that, it was hurting me a lot, and I just had to push through it.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the setback after you came back? Did you sort of kind of re-injure it, or were you just being more cautious, kind of going into your season? You get hurt, you're out, you play 3 games. What was kind of the setback after those 3 games?
After those 3 games, I wasn't, after seeing me play those 3 games, I wasn't fully healed. So it just wanted to sit me out so I could be better going into college and not re-hurting myself.
I know that that was tough because y'all were you're deep in the playoffs and you can't contribute the way you want to. I know that had to be tough because I mean, with y'all losing last week, right? Y'all did lose last week, right? The team
Yes,
did.
sir.
Yeah, that
Yes,
had to
sir.
be tough not being able to play in that game.
And I think
That
it
was-
speaks a lot for the coaches as well. I mean, I know that was a hard call for them to say, "Hey, we're going to sit you out," but they're looking for your future too. And I think you don't see a whole lot of high school coaches that do that. So I kind of commend them on that end. And like you said, it's hard for you. I mean, you always want to win the last one, but not even to be able to play the last one. I know that had to be pretty rough.
Yes, sir, it was.
Well,
Any talks from the coaches about possible playing time your freshman year, or is it just kind of a come in and work and see where you're at?
Oh, yes, sir. There's possible talk about about me playing into my freshman year. I'm starting my like workouts next week. So
oh wow.
Are you going in early?
no, sir, I'm not going in early.
Oh, okay.
But I'll be starting my stuff next week so I can be prepared. So when I do go in early, I will.
Are you fully healthy? Are you 90%? Where are you at on your foot?
About 90%.
I know you're ready to get out there. I can just tell. You're ready to
Yes,
get out
sir.
there and get to work. How do you feel about moving to West Texas?
I feel very good about it. That just because it's being so far, still in Texas, it's not out of Texas. So
It feels like it's
But-
further than that, though.
yeah, it feels
West
like it's
Texas
way
is a
out of
trip,
Texas
man. Yeah,
For it being 10 hours. I
yeah,
would
it's
think it'd be way
insane.
out of Texas for it to be that far. But I really feel good about it. I lived in Oklahoma before I moved to Houston, so a moving status wouldn't really hurt me.
How do your parents feel about you moving?
My parents was like, it's very far, but we still gonna make our way to every game.
There you go.
Wow,
Well, hey,
man.
I will tell you this: on September 13th, they don't have to go very far because you'll be in Austin, Texas.
Yes, sir. Ready for that game?
Hey, I'm a Texas fan, man, so I'm gonna be looking for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking for you.
I need like 7 pick six that week because I'm an
Nah,
Aggie.
man,
I need you to just take over the game.
Hey, don't do
I
that to
got
my
y'all.
team, please. Don't
I
do that
love
to
it.
my team. Hey,
I
I'm
love
gonna be rooting for you, but don't do that to my team. Don't
Yeah,
kill
You
it
gonna
like
see
that.
my name and be like, oh man.
That's it.
I know.
Yes, sir.
Hey, don't go too hard on Arch now. Come on, give him a little break. It'd be like a second game. I think it's gonna be coming off. They play Ohio State first. Got to give them a little
Yeah.
break. All right.
Hey, ain't gonna be no break. I'm just getting in. I'm just getting started.
Do you play anything else? Any other sport?
I played basketball and I run track.
Are you going to play basketball this year?
No, sir.
Just going to get ready for college.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What? Go ahead.
I'm so excited they're playing Texas because I'm gonna get to watch this kid just like I don't know if you've looked at y'all's schedule, but I mean, you look at Texas, they have some insane wide receivers. I'm not sure who's graduating or not, but if there's one person, wide receiver wise that you could think of off the top of your head, who would you like to lock down, and play against in college? Because there's a lot of great receivers
From Texas?
Yeah,
I say Jonte Cook because I've been watching him a lot since he was in high school and all that. And I've been saying I can guard him. So me going to college and knowing I can go against him probably will be a good.
Hey, I wish they were playing Alabama. I want to see him lock down Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Williams is a stud, man. Hey, that dude is, man. I want to see you lock him down, man, because he's something, man. Like I think he's really young and underrated in college. He's so good. But
what position do you play in basketball?
I played shooting guard and point guard and small forward.
Okay. Oh, we all pretty good. Did you play this past year?
No, sir.
No. Okay. I didn't know if you had played.
I had played my sophomore year though.
Sophomore. Okay.
When I was at Klein Forest, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, where was Klein Forest at?
And it's in Houston. It's like Klein area.
Okay. So it's on the other side of Humble.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got you.
I'm trying to think of some of those. What was one of your funnest teams to play in high school? I just like you. It was always a game every year you look forward to playing. Let's just say either school, like whether it was at Klein or at Atascocita, what was like a school you were always looking forward to playing? Like it was just a fun environment. Not whether y'all blew them out or not. What was like one of those games you always look forward to? Like it was just gonna be a good game.
I say North Shore because we're
Oh,
always
yep. Yeah, that's a good game. North Shore, man. Listen, you
we'll
can't go wrong
always
with
have
that.
to, we always go in as the underdog, and we'll just have to like just because they always they've been so good for so many years. Just going in knowing that we're a team that could beat them, and knowing we can be a team that could upset them.
Did you ever have a chance to play P&G at all?
No, sir.
Is there any of those Dallas teams you got to play against?
A purple school?
Yeah. It's
Port Neches.
Port Neches, yeah, Port Neches Grove.
Yeah, I don't think they're in our division.
Yeah, I didn't know if maybe y'all played them like I guess it's not preseason, but before district. Everybody kind of schedules whatever. Have you ever had a chance to play like a Duncanville or DeSoto?
No.
Those would be some games. Duncanville, hey, DeSoto or
see you up against Decory and Moore, man. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, the closest I got was North Shore.
North Shore. That's just that's a team, man. I mean, that's right there with those teams for sure.
And we had Westlake this year, but I didn't play. It was there.
Yeah, Westlake's good too. Westlake's good too, man.
Did y'all beat them?
Yeah, we had won that game.
Oh, y'all did beat Westlake. Nice.
That's
won it without y'all's best player. That's a big deal.
Well, I'm just sitting here looking at these games like tonight. Who's playing?
So you're going out to West Texas, and you go for your official visit. Is it just a culture shock out there from like the Houston area to go to West Texas for you? I mean, was it just like coming from the big city of Houston to pretty much kind of nothing out there? I know El Paso's still kind of big, but it's a different kind of big.
Well, a little bit, just driving around with the players, just looking around, trying to see how it'd be when I move down there. I say it's maybe a little bit different because where I grew up at, it was a small town too, so I'm kind of used to small stuff.
Okay.
When you walked on that campus for the first time, was it overwhelming at all? It had to be.
The stadium. How it's built in the mountains.
The mountains?
In the mountains, yeah. That's what I was just telling him.
Hold on. I got to look this stadium up, man. I have not seen this stadium, and I just keep hearing about it.
It's like one corner of it's like one half of the, I think, home side bleachers maybe, is built into the rock. I mean, it's cool. Like it's pretty, and dude, I don't know if y'all play NCAA 25, but it looks cool in NCAA 25 also.
Yes, I do.
You do? You on Xbox or what?
PS5.
Hey, bro, listen. I want to play. I suck, but I'll play. I suck, but I'll play. I like playing that game. I suck, but dude, this stadium is insane.
So
this stadium is so cool. I've never seen
it's
like
packed out. They say people be sitting on top of the rocks.
On top of the rocks.
They are. This image I'm looking at, there's people in the rocks, sitting on the rocks watching the game. That's like I wonder if they get in free. I wonder if they climb the mountain and get in for free, because I would. Every time. I'm never paying to get into a game, but I'm gonna sit in those mountains and watch.
Right.
I'm gonna have my binoculars looking down, because I mean, hey.
So do you?
Awesome.
I know this might be way premature, but what number are you gonna be wearing at UTEP?
I'm going for 1.
You gonna go for it and just see if they gonna give it for you or not, or
when Texas plays and I see number 1 step on the field, I'm gonna be like, oh my god!
Do not
throw his way. Just go the opposite way.
Well, let me ask you this. I got a question for you here. What would you consider yourself? A cover corner or somebody that can come up and is going to hit you? If you had to describe your cover corner, I like it. I'm
assuming you like playing man more than anything.
Press man is all I like to play.
Press man.
Who do you who do you model your game after? Whether it's let's say. Like, I'm going to go NFL because you just see so much more there. Like, who's someone you watch a lot to kind of just look when they play?
I say Sauce Gardner.
I was just listening to say that. I saw a video of yours today, and I was like, it just looks like just like Sauce out there. So that's a perfect perfect comparison. I was going to say the same thing.
How do you like that cornerback, that rookie from Philadelphia? He's pretty nice, ain't he?
Yes, sir.
When I saw him tackle Derrick Henry, I was like, man, this dude is something else. Like
Dijon, yeah.
he picked him up and tackled him.
That ain't no regular running back either.
No, it ain't.
That ain't no regular running back at all. You don't see very many. Like I saw T.J. Watt tackle him. I was like, okay, I expect that. But when you see a corner do that, that's a whole different ball game. And a rookie, no, he's a different breed.
Now I guess being in Houston, are you a Houston fan or are you a Dallas fan?
Neither.
Oh, I like this.
Where you at?
I really I say only Miami Dolphins because I like Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Oh, you don't ever hardly hear that in Texas. I like that though.
I mean, obviously you're going to UTEP, but who's your favorite college team?
Favorite college team, LSU.
Being in a lot of Houston area kids like LSU. This is right across the border, I guess. I mean, you're not too far from it.
Yeah, I think it's probably because when I grew up, I just always used to go to LSU to run indoor track meets.
What'd you run?
I ran the 400 and the 200.
What's your 400 time?
My sophomore year, I had ran a 51. I believe it was a 51.
Still moving, bro.
Wow, that's moving.
Yeah, junior year I didn't run due to a hip.
To your hip?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'll tell you something crazy. We just had a kid on from he's from a town close to us, Brownsboro. He's a defensive tackle, and he runs the 100. Okay, hear me out. He runs 100. He runs 11-1. That's a
11-1
for a defensive tackle.
He's moving.
That's what we told him. That's what we said. I said, bro, you are moving. He said, I'm not too fast. And he told us that time. I was like, dude, you're crazy. That's moving. And he's
11-1, and he's a defensive tackle. That's insane.
What school did he go to?
Brownsboro, Texas.
He's going to end up going to Texas State.
He's going to Texas State to play. I'm trying to think, Derek, have we had anybody else from UTEP on, or is this the first one?
This is the first one, yeah.
First one?
This
okay.
is the first UTEP. We've had a couple Texas State kids on, which is cool because you kind of get to talk to teammates of other teammates and oh man, yeah, I've heard of him or haven't heard of him. But yeah, man, we what's something maybe you want to kind of get out about yourself? Something that maybe somebody doesn't know about you. I mean, obviously we know you're a hard worker. You got to be a hard worker coming back from an injury. Lockdown corner. I mean, is there anything that we've missed that you kind of want to put out there or talk about?
Something that I want to put out there is don't sleep these next 3-4 years.
Hey, listen.
I like it.
We have all these people we've been having on. We got y'all down. We watching. Hey, by the way, I have another question because I ask this to everybody.
Yeah,
outside of football and all the accomplishments there, what's your biggest accomplishment so far in your life that you're very proud of? Besides the football, or it can be football, but outside of that, what's something you're really, proud of, or you feel like you've done so good so far in your young life?
Well, I say really just getting a scholarship because none of my parents or none of my family members have actually gotten a scholarship to go to college. I'll be the first one in my family to do it.
That's huge, man.
You know who Alicia Harris is?
Yeah, that's my uncle.
Awesome.
You're a dog, man. I like it. You're gonna have to tell the.
What's up?
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
You're gonna have to tell the UTEP coaches instead of a C on your jersey, you want a D on there for the dog, just like Dion does. So that kind of that leads us kind of into our next question. It could be a 2-part question. It could turn into 3 depending on how you answer.
Oh man, I already know. If it's the one question you're about to, I already know the answer.
This is kind of. He said, "Nephew, keep making us proud." That's what your uncle said.
I got you.
So, who's your Heisman Trophy winner?
I already
Travis
know.
Hunter.
I knew it. I already knew when we had him on. This is what's going to be his pick.
This is where we're at.
He's a dog. It's like no way he doesn't get it.
Can you tell me what he does that's the best in the nation?
What he does that's the best?
Yeah.
Probably his ball skills, getting the ball out the air.
Okay.
I've never.
His
Okay,
track-
hey,
his
hold on.
tracking skills,
No, go ahead. I was going to say, out of everybody that we asked this to, they've picked Travis Hunter. That's the one thing I have heard nobody say.
Yeah.
And the reason I knew he was going to be more, I guess, precise about it is because he plays that position. It's like cornerback.
That's I
completely. I agree with that. Like, that's an insane thing that no one I've seen said about Travis Hunter, his ball skills.
And you think elite ball skills is Heisman worthy?
yes.
So if from now on the best cornerback ought to win the Heisman, right? Because elite ball skills.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You say what I'm saying?
That. I'm not saying that. It's just like, I don't know, the way like he turns into a receiver once the ball is in the air, basically.
I got you. Yeah,
I like that though.
I like the way you break it down, but
never heard anybody break him down.
I'm gonna have to disagree. It's got to be Genty. It's got to be Genty.
No.
You don't think now? Okay, let me ask you this: take Travis Hunter off Colorado. What's their record?
Probably the same.
You take Genty off of Boise State. What's their record? Are they the number 3 seed in the playoffs? They don't even win 3 games.
Okay.
They don't even win 3 games, bro. You see what I'm saying? Travis Hunter doesn't lead the nation in any category except snaps. Think about it.
He played both sides of the ball. On defense,
okay.
They don't go to
Make an argument without saying that. Sell me on Travis Hunter, the Heisman, without saying he plays both sides of the ball.
Wait, say that again.
Sell me on Travis Hunter as the Heisman Trophy winner without saying that he plays both sides of the ball. Sell me on him as a receiver, and then sell me on him as a cornerback.
Corner, locked down.
He doesn't lead the nation in any statistical category for a corner except snaps.
Because they don't go his way. You gotta look at that.
Okay. Did they go Charles Woodson's way when Charles Woodson won the Heisman? He doesn't have the same stats Charles Woodson had.
He doesn't at all.
Okay. Offensively, sell me at Charles as Hunter as a receiver. Sell him to me.
Receiver, you got it.
You see what I'm saying?
I say defensive side of the ball.
So you think?
Now I'll agree with that. If the award was the best two-way player in America, he would win it hands down because he's the only one that does it. But as a whole, he doesn't even lead his conference in defensive back category. Much less the
you
nation.
gotta think about it. Ashton Genty do get 100 carries a game.
Travis Hunter gets the ball thrown to him an average of 16 times a game.
And how many times he catch it?
8, 9, 10. But now, I'm going to throw this at you. I'm glad you brought that up because here we go. Devontae Smith, when he won the Heisman Trophy as a receiver at Bama, he had more catches, more yards, more touchdowns in a better receiving core room. That's when they had Henry Ruggs, Waddle. They had
not selfish.
Shador
not selfish.
Neither was Mac Jones, the great Mac Jones. That's who his quarterback was, the great Mac Jones. And they had a running back that had over 1,100 yards. So he wasn't getting the ball all the time. You see, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say.
They was just an explosive team back then.
But everybody ate, and he still put up better numbers than Hunter's doing when only Hunter's eating. Nobody else is over 1,000 yards for Colorado.
You're right about that.
I'm just saying. I need you to. I will tell you this. I'll make a statement right now. You can mark this down. In 2 years, I'm voting for you for the Heisman.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be the next cornerback that wins the Heisman. 47 interceptions, 111 tackles. Sophomore year.
Texas is going to throw me about 3 or 4.
I love it. I love it.
Come on, man.
And you're going to get to the national championship. You're going to play A&M. You're going to have 6 picks against A&M, but you're going to lose 17-15.
No.
Aggie's going to win the title.
Aggie's not even going to make it.
Hey, bro. Hey. Whoa. All right. So this is kind of what we close with. Who you got winning the Natty?
It's
a tough one.
Let me think.
Come on, give it to
I'm
me.
going with. I'm gonna go. Who can I go with here? I don't really know. That's hard. That's a good question.
It's really hard. It's hard.
Oregon.
Okay.
2 in a row for Oregon. I like it.
Okay.
As long as it ain't Texas.
Oregon's not losing. No time.
Oregon is a. I watched them for the first time they play Penn State, and I've kept up with them.
Playbook stands out.
Yes, their playbook is unreal.
Dylan Gabriel is like, obviously he was at Oklahoma, so obviously Texas got to play with him, so I got to see him. I saw a different Gabriel than I've ever seen. His release time on the ball is something I've never seen. It's like he already knows what's going on with the defense before the ball is snapped. He already knows where he's going with the ball. When you get to college, it doesn't matter what team, but if there's a quarterback you would love to face, not a receiver, but a quarterback, who would you want to play against in the national or in college, whether they're graduating this year or someone's going to be there next year? Who's one you would like to just play against?
Arch Manning.
Well, you're going to get the chance. Freshman year. You get it. Yeah. You get him. What do you like about it? There hasn't been a lot of him. I mean, he obviously got to play because Ewers is hurt. But what do you like about his game?
I like about his game. He's very accurate with the ball.
Yeah.
So if you was to make a play on one of his balls, you know you're there with the receiver and you're in the perfect position.
I like that. That's perfect.
Do you think he's going to be one of the best next year in college?
Yeah.
And you get to face him.
Can't wait.
I like it.
I'm excited about that. Hey, listen, where's my phone? I'm about to circle that game on my phone.
September 13th in all.
Looking for number 1 on Utep. That's who I'm gonna be looking for every play. That's awesome, man.
Dustin, you got anything else for him?
No, man. We appreciate you so much coming on and taking the time.
Yeah,
Hey, I do have one more thing. All right, I know you got family, but listen, I wouldn't mind taking a trip out to El Paso for a game. If you got an extra ticket or two, we'll come watch you. And I am as serious as could be.
I got you, coach.
Because I coached a little bit. I coached a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. It was a little league, but I coached a little bit.
He's 0-72 coaching, so don't take
0-72.
I'm just kidding.
Nah. After the 72 L, you had to retire.
What it was is my nephew, he went to Gilmer, so I got to coach their little league squad for a couple of years, and you know the defensive end at Arkansas, Landon Jackson? You heard of him?
No, sorry.
Well, I got to coach him. He plays at Arkansas right now, but that's as far as coaching I got because football was I liked playing, but I don't know. I just did offensive line. It was easy. So, well, man, we appreciate you having on, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
We'll keep up with you, and man, maybe after your freshman year, we'd like to have you back on and kind of see how your freshman year went if you're down for that in the future.
Yes,
All right, man. We'll holler at you later. And like I said, just keep up with us. We'll keep up with you, and we'll stay in touch.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Thank you, man.
I'll win the West.
Hey, I like it.
There we go. I like that picture. Later, bro.
Later, man.
Good kid.
Oh,
Good
man.
kid. That's probably one of my favorite ones we've done so far.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. Very, very outspoken.
Yes.
What I love most about him is his confidence.
Yeah. And the way he breaks down, like when he was breaking down facing Manning, you got to be in the right spot. You got to be right here.
Talking about Travis, that was so impressive to me.
You can tell he watches.
He said ball skills.
Yeah.
His ball skills. That's insane. I mean, I know he's a cornerback, but him talking about that is insane. Great kid, man. I knew he was going to pick Travis. He's a corner. There's no way he wasn't picking Travis. I already knew that.
I might have persuaded him, though. I might have persuaded.
Hey, he agreed with you on a couple things. For him to agree,
I can sell it. I can sell it, son.
that was awesome, man. I'm very excited for him. Again, he's playing my team next year. I hope he gets that chance to play early because I'm gonna be looking for him. I'm excited I'm excited to watch him play. Well, I told you, moving into basketball, I had something for you. We're gonna end this debate tonight. It's gonna be done. So here we go. We're gonna hop right into it. So here we go.
Oh, my man.
I mean, I brought everything I could bring to the game. All his accolades, his averages. I mean, he was a double-double. I digging a little bit more into him. I didn't realize he only played 12 or 13 seasons. For some reason, I thought he played longer than that.
Yeah, no, he was.
But I mean, he was NBA All-Star every year.
Yep, every single year. Won the title in his second year.
I mean, they never end. All right, he has plenty of accolades.
I'm gonna tell you the one that really sticks out to me.
Which one is it?
The 9-time first team All-NBA as a rookie.
Yeah, I mean he
as a rookie.
He hit the 50-40-90 club twice.
Mm-hmm.
He was the AP Athlete of the Year in '86. I mean, he has a jersey retired by Boston and by his college, Indiana State. I mean, he did it all. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I know it's different. I know it's a different sport, but
it's a different era. That's the thing.
I'm just saying basketball to football. You hear all this. Boise State plays in the Mountain West. They don't play nobody. Blah 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 blah. I don't think Indiana State Sycamores are a top tier basketball team. Even back in the 70s, they weren't.
Well, they were when he was there, but
I mean, well, yeah, but I'm just saying that in the NCAA tournament, they're having to go through some teams, right?
This isn't Duke. This wasn't Duke and Kentucky, is where I'm getting at.
Oh,
it's not
yeah,
that type of atmosphere. It wasn't even the Indiana Hoosiers, nothing like that.
Right?
No, this was I mean, Larry Bird's accomplishments, I mean, are fantastic. I mean, you cannot deny what he's done, right?
Yeah.
But this debate, it's the who's better, LeBron. It's not even who's better. Who is the better overall small forward is what we talked about, been talking about.
Yeah.
And you said Larry Bird, and and I know you sent us that TikTok today. That was an insane TikTok because the guy was like, it was right. But I've come to the conclusion. I don't think you can compare these two, and there's a reason why. Because I think it's the eras. Because like if when I pull up LeBron's, when I look at it, here's what I can tell. LeBron to me was the better offensive player, but obviously he's been playing longer, so longevity does matter too. Now, obviously this era is different. It's not as physical demanding because you can't touch somebody without getting a foul. Back in Bird's day, you could tackle somebody and there wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
So there is some different. That's why I'd say it's hard to compare this because the eras are so different. The 3-point shot wasn't a thing back in this day. It was there, but it wasn't what it is now. Even like I know LeBron's first 10 years or so, it still was like kind of the old schoolish basketball, like still the Shaq era, the Dwight Howard era.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like it's so hard because once I pulled up all these accolades and stats and both of them, excuse me, it's so hard to compare them. Like now that I've done this, I think it's like 1A, 1B type thing. It's not a 1 and a 2. It's so hard now. If Bird played in this era, we could be having a whole different conversation. Or if LeBron played in that area, I don't think he would have lasted because
flopping too much.
So
I'll tell you my two biggest, and they're so they're stupid. I mean, I'll be completely honest. They're stupid because it really doesn't matter. But the two things that I look at when I'm looking at Bird and LeBron, Larry Bird played a game left-handed.
He did,
and had 20 points, I think, left-handed. because he literally told the team, "I'm saving my right hand for the Lakers." Okay,
Which is an insane thing to do.
the confidence in that alone, much less getting the 20-piece with your opposite hand, is amazing. And LeBron can't even shoot free throws left-handed. And this dude played an entire game left-handed.
I wonder if Larry Bird is ambidextrous.
I don't know. But the second thing, the 1987, I believe, it might be 88, but I want to say it's 87, three-point contest. Larry Bird walks into the locker room. I don't know if you heard this story. Tells the competitors, "I'm not even taking my sweatsuit off." He won the competition with his sweatsuit on.
And he won it 3 times, by the way. Three straight years.
Three straight years. And one of those years, he didn't even take his jumpsuit off. Like, he had the long sleeve. LeBron cried when they had sleeves in the finals. And this dude's out here knocking down a three-point competition with long sleeve, pearl snap sweat jumpsuits on. Those are the two different. And like I said, they don't necessarily have anything to do with basketball, but they're just the type of offensive player that he was. He was a scorer. Bottom line. Yeah, I know he played with all these great people, and I mean, they theoretically were a super team back then. But I don't think Kevin McHale was a top 5 at his position like Dwayne Wade was. Bill
Walton?
No, Parrish.
Oh, Bill Parrish, yeah.
Was great. I don't know if he was top 5 in his position at the time. Chris Bosh was. There was just so much for the LeBron thing that tarnished his reputation. I mean, yeah, you can win, but it's just I don't know.
I'm gonna bring up LeBron's, okay? and statistic wise, these averages, they're pretty close. Like, LeBron has him a little bit more in points. I think Bird has him by half in rebounds. Now, I'm going to say, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to squeeze. I mean, LeBron was a little bit better in assist, but Larry Bird was a better statistical defensive player.
Yeah. What the dude said this morning on the thing.
Which is insane to say.
Yeah.
Which is insane to say because I feel like LeBron at his best, like not now, LeBron is 21 years in. He's still a great defender, but he's not an elite defender anymore, and that's because of the age. His body is slowly but surely letting him down. I mean, the accolades, I mean, are still insane for him. I mean, again, he's been playing a lot longer, right? So I would expect this list to be what it is. But that's why I'm saying, like, it's hard to choose between the two. I'd almost say it's a 1A, 1B for me because they're so insanely almost alike. They really are. Like, it would have been – could you imagine if we had the chance to get a clone of Larry Bird in his 80s and get to play now? Would that not be insane? Put him on the Celtics team now and look how good they are. Could you imagine
Larry, I mean, I cannot think of the life of me remember the guy's name. I'll have to try to find it and I'll send it to you. But there was a coach. I want to say his last name is Nolan. Used to be for Arkansas. And when he was younger, he was reading the paper. He was at some school in Texas, and they didn't have television. He was listening to the radio. And he was listening to a game, and it was Indiana State versus somebody. And he said, man, I was listening to it, and all I heard was Bird to the right, Bird to the left, Bird for a pull-up. Bird. And I said, man, this brother is good. This brother is good. He said, well, the next day, I got the paper, and I found out that Bird brother was white. I had no idea. And it was funny because you listen to all the people talk about him, all the old people. The trash talking that Larry Bird did was the same type of trash talking that Michael Jordan did. If you listen to the players tell you about it, like you don't do that. You don't talk to Larry Bird. You don't disrespect Larry Bird. Larry Bird used to tell the other opposing team's coach how disrespected he was that they had a white guy guarding him. He's like, you don't do that to me. Like, I'm Larry Bird. Like that, and it's cocky in a sense, but it's also confident because he knew who he was. He knew he was the guy. And I think LeBron gets a lot. And I've said this before as well, talking about LeBron. The greatest NBA feat of all time isn't Bill Russell winning 11 out of 13 years. Isn't the Kareem and them winning with the Showtime Lakers. It's the first time LeBron James went to the NBA Finals with Sasa Pulisic and the goofy mop-haired guy and the big, tall, lanky white guy and Eric Snow.
Anderson Varejao.
Anderson Varejao. Yeah. That's the greatest accomplishment in NBA history in my eyes. So
it is.
I'm not knocking LeBron. I think he's a top 10 player of all time. I do not think he's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or even 6. I do believe he's in that 7 to 10 range. But I just cannot.
And if you had to pick our era, what would you have him in our era? Because you still have Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, and all those guys. Because that's our era.
Well, I was watching it back in the 90s, so that was.
Well, let's say if you had to pick players from 2000 and above, because that's still in Kobe's prime.
Okay.
It's still kind of in Shaq's prime a little bit. If
That
you
is
had to
Shaq.
pick,
I'll tell you this one. I'll give you another little one. 2000 Shaq was the most unguardable player in NBA history.
to me, Shaq is the most unguardable player in the
but
NBA
I mean,
history.
his first 2 years in LA was unreal.
Oh yeah, he was unreal in Orlando, and that team was not the great. I mean, they were really good, but they weren't like the Lakers were just stacked with Paul Gasol. Well, not even Paul Gasol, but they had who was their power forward? They had Robert Ory. They had Derek Fisher. They had
Penny Hardaway. Oh, and you're talking about
I'm talking that 2000. Like when they had
Rick Fox.
Yeah. Rick Fox, dude. I mean that team like.
So in our era, I would have Kobe, Shaq, probably Curry.
Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then probably LeBron at 4. I have a hard time saying it's LeBron's era.
Yeah, no. That's not what I'm.
Everybody ate. You know what I mean? Like,
well, because I think LeBron didn't come until 2003.
But I'm saying from 2003 till now.
Yeah.
They say that's LeBron's era when he entered. But everybody's ate in LeBron's era. I mean, you've got Curry's got the same amount of rings. All these teams are winning championships. In 10 years, the only time Jordan didn't win a championship is the 2 years they didn't play.
Okay, I have a question for you. What was a team that you would have liked to see LeBron on? A team he didn't play on. Like he thought like he would really have been like I don't know, just like a team.
I'll tell you right now, and it's the year that he went to
Miami.
It's the year that he went to Miami. They were actually going to go to Chicago. It was going to be Rose, Wade, LeBron,
Carmelo.
No.
Was that the year? Because Carmelo was at one point trying to link up.
He was going to go to Miami, but they all left.
That's right.
They ended up leaving after their contracts were up. But it was going to be LeBron, Wade, Rose, Joakim Noah, Taj Gibson, Kyle Korver. All of them were going to be in Chicago, and that's the year Derrick Rose got hurt.
Could you imagine that?
The only reason he wouldn't have done that is because I personally believe they would have won probably 4, and he didn't want anything tied to Jordan and that aspect of it.
He was trying to do better.
Yes, and he was.
Of course, and I mean, I think every Kobe, LeBron, you can say Penny Hardaway, any of those guys that are like that, and I say this all the time. If Penny Hardaway does not get hurt, he would have been. He's still to me one of the greatest players to play. Like just in general, he was an insane athlete. He was such a good basketball player. He doesn't get a lot of love, and it's because his career was cut short. It's kind of like Derrick Rose. If
Derrick Rose would have won at least one title in Chicago, I firmly believe that, and that would have put him. Yeah. That would have put him top 2, if not top 3 point guards of all time.
Yeah, Derrick Rose was insane.
He was unbelievable. Let me ask you this: if we're on the little basketball kick here,
keep him coming, man.
Biggest what if in NBA history? I've got mine, and mine's always been the same, and it'll always be the same, I think. unless something changes it.
Biggest what if? God, there's so much history.
There
That's the
is.
thing. The biggest what if. Man, that's hard. Tell me yours. Let me think about that. That's a hard one to think about because there's so many what
If
ifs.
Carmelo Anthony gets drafted by the Detroit Pistons, he has titles before LeBron, Bosh, Wade, and probably has multiple before they ever win one.
Because that one Detroit team, he would have been on it.
He would have been the primary scorer on that team with a team that was fully capable of shutting you down to 80 points a game. Billups,
Dude.
Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, the
Rasheed
Wallaces.
Wallace, Ben
Yes,
Wallace.
sir.
Oh,
They
my
would have moved
God.
Tayshaun or Prince would have probably been your sixth man. So him coming off the bench, or you could have bumped him down to a shooting guard and brought Rip off the bench for like an extra spark, instant offense type thing. Did you know right here? So Carmelo Anthony's my second favorite player of all time.
I love Carmelo
Right
Anthony.
behind Jordan. I followed him when he was at Oak Hill, when he went to Syracuse. I followed his entire career.
Yeah, Carmelo was
Carmelo Anthony is the only player ever to win Rookie of the Month every month, but not win Rookie of the Year.
That's insane.
LeBron won it. Now it was West and East, so he won Rookie of the Month every month in
the East.
In the West. LeBron won it all but once in the East. I forgot who won one other month, but they still gave it to LeBron, even though Melo. This is another. Melo had better stats than LeBron as a rookie, but yet LeBron won the. So I don't know how they do that kind of stuff.
Oh, man. So when I think about what ifs, unfortunately, I always think about like what if something happened in San Antonio. Like that's my mind. Like what could have happened, because like that 2000, even their 1999 championship, and then up into 2017 or 2014. Like I always think about a what if, like, but there's not a lot of what ifs with them. Like, because I thought their teams were always really good, like every year. You know, my favorite. I guess I'm going to talk about them a little bit because they're on my mind. You know, I'm trying to think of what ifs, but my favorite battles, or I always look forward to, for I guess it was about 4 years, and it didn't happen all 4 years. But my favorite battles was always them in Miami in the finals, because when they had to play LeBron, you know, and they were always the underdog. Why? I mean, of course, they're playing Miami. And the fact that they got to beat LeBron twice was an accomplishment, I think, for one. But, man, what if? I'm trying to think of a good what if. Okay, I got one, and it does do with San Antonio. What if Kawhi Leonard doesn't get hurt and he stays? Does that team would they have another championship on their belt already?
Oh yeah, if he doesn't get hurt against Golden State, they win a championship.
What if Kawhi was healthy and they had Wemby now? What would that team be like now with what they have now?
I don't even know if it's as much as Kawhi's hurt as I think he's kind of done with basketball. I think he's holding on to a dream that he's over with. He's kind of like Jokic. He's just doing it because it's like what he does.
Yeah.
I don't think during the offseason he gets out there and just, you know, humps it and goes and shoots 1,000 shots a day. I think in the offseason, it's his offseason. I think he just chilled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think once he got that title in Toronto, I think that was it for him. I don't really think he won one. He was always I'm not going to say the kid in the back, but at San Antonio, it was the big three and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, and that 2014, he was the he was the MVP for the finals.
He was the MVP.
You know? He was supposed to be the next. He was supposed to be the next one in the NBA, not just for the Spurs. He was supposed to be the next thing, and I hated that because I saw him carry. In a way, it almost makes me think was like, do all of those? I mean, does everybody retire like Duncan and them. Obviously, they were old. They were getting up there. Even like Duncan's last year, he wasn't even like insanely productive, but he was Tim Duncan. I mean, you were going to get what you were going to get with him. Obviously, age catches up to everybody. But, ooh, another what if. What if Vince Carter, man, I would have loved to seen him win one. The fact he didn't have a chance to win one was do you think it's more common? Here's another question, and I'm comparing basketball to football. There's a lot of people, like basketball wise, it seems it's easier to get into the Hall of Fame without a championship in football. Do you think that's fair to those players in sports? Or what makes you a Hall of Famer in those sports? Like, do you have to have that title? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's what makes you a Hall of Famer? Is it the accolades? Is it what your
I don't think
teams are?
I don't think it can be the accolades, and I'm going to give you one reason why.
Excuse me.
I don't think Robert Ory is a Hall of Fame player, but he's got 7 rings.
Yeah, he has a lot.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think Rick Fox is a Hall of Fame player, but he's got more rings than Carmelo. You know what I mean? Like that's tough because I don't know, man. That's a I don't know how they do it. You know what I mean? Like
I'm just curious. Like
statistically, I think that's how they do a lot of it. Because like if you want to look at the football side, Cam Newton doesn't have a ring. Yeah, he made a Super Bowl. Yeah, he's an MVP, but he doesn't have a ring. So we can't use the ring factor. I think personally, Eli Manning should get in over Cam Newton, even though I think Cam Newton probably was a better quarterback than Eli. But Eli's got 2 Super Bowls. Eli beat Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls. I mean, so it's tough. But I don't know if I've ever seen anybody get inducted. I haven't, I guess, to the NBA Hall of Fame that didn't deserve it. I'm sure there's somebody, but I haven't seen anybody personally. I will tell you what I wish they would do. With the Hall of Fame stuff, I wish they would do it sooner. I don't like that you have to wait so long because we missed probably the greatest Hall of Fame induction class ever because they waited so long. That was Duncan, Garnett, and Kobe. Kobe wasn't there. That would have been the greatest class ever to get inducted, together. But we missed out on it because of how they do it.
I'm sitting here. I've been seeing this thing on TikTok. There was a defensive end that played for the Jets. I can't.
He lost the title to Strahan.
He is pissed.
Yes, he is.
Have you heard about that story?
Yes, how he did. That was his claim to fame, and he thinks that's what's keeping him out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and so have you seen the video how Michael Strahan won it?
Yeah, Favre spins out, and then he just kind of laid down on him.
Okay, so there's a video, and you may have seen it. I can't think of the guy's name. He confronted Brett Favre at a convention. Have you seen that?
I don't guess I have.
I've seen it quite a bit, so next time I'll send it to you, I'll tag you. He confronts Brett Favre, and Brett Favre reaches out to shake this guy hand. He looks Brett Favre in the eyes and says, "You took my record from me." He doesn't shake Brett Favre's hand.
I like it.
And then Brett Favre says, "I can give it back to you." And he says, "I want my sack back." And I'm like, "Oh, that's Brett Favre you just did that to." Now I understand, like, it looks like a gimme sack, right?
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, and it was.
And I feel bad for that guy in a way because if anyone has 22 sacks in a season, or I think he had 21, whatever it was, that's impressive. That's a lot of sacks. It's like almost 2 a game. I don't know how many games they played back then, but it's got to be close. They need to put that guy in there. I think that's deserving. It is. I mean, is Michael Strahan in?
Yeah,
if Michael Strahan is in, now I understand the Giants himself did more, right?
That's kind of where I was going to go.
Yeah, I get that, but
what if for his career, say he played eight years, and he finished with 26 sacks, and he had 22 that one season?
Now there was a lot of things.
Is that Hall of Fame worthy that you had one sack in?
Well, no. Seasons? Right, no, of course not. But I will say this: a lot of his, I saw some other within the videos. There's different ones, there's shorter ones, there's longer ones. There's a lot of people that didn't like that guy. They said he was a very selfish guy. They said he was only a quarterback go-getter. He didn't try to get the tackles on the running backs, nothing like. It was just a quarterback go-getter, right? Mm-hmm. So I get it, but for that to happen to him, and the way it happened, the guy he got it all taken away from him on a gimme.
Yeah.
And I understand. I don't know. If I find the guy, I want to find his career statistics because, I want to know what he did for his career.
Here, let's see.
And I was trying to look up, all the sack leaders, and I just don't see the guy's name. Because if I see his name, I will remember who he was. And I cannot find this guy.
Let's see what I can come up with.
Let's see here.
I do think that it's harder in baseball to get into the.
Oh my God, baseball. Listen,
the steroid era hurt baseball.
It did, but baseball is such a hard sport. I don't care what nobody says. Baseball is a hard sport. I mean, physically, it may not be a hard sport. The contact part of it, I guess, compared to a lot of sports, but it's a hard sport to play.
Okay, baseball? They played 16 games back then.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my problem. Okay, here's my problem with this. You got to let it go because since 1984, Jared Allen in 2011 had 22. Justin Houston in 14 had 22. In 01, Michael Strahan had 22 and a half. And in 21, TJ Watt had 22 and a half. So your record was going to get broke anyway. So why? And he did it in less games.
And I guess his point of view is he thinks that's what's stopping him from getting in. And like you said, I think that's what he is. He is thinking that stops him from getting in.
Gastineau?
That's him. Yep, okay. That's him.
So he played 10 years. Okay. 74 sacks. So you take away 21 from 74. Was that 53?
Mm-hmm. So 53 in 9 seasons.
53 in 9 seasons is, what is that?
That's about almost 5.
Almost a season. That's,
okay.
I mean, and just for reference,
that's almost half a sack a game over those 9 seasons.
Okay.
Wow.
Michael Strahan played 15 seasons, had 141 sacks. So take away 22, he had 120 sacks in 14 seasons.
Wow. Yeah.
So I mean, and he had won a Defensive Player of the Year. So I don't know, man. It
just seems like from what I saw is that he's blaming it on that. But now that you tell me all those stats, which I have not got into that depth with it, that he's just butthurt. He hasn't gotten in, and he thinks that Brett Favre. He's not even blaming Michael Strahan. He's blaming Brett Favre, and I think he's blaming the wrong person.
But if I'm Strahan, I'm not gonna not take. You know what I mean? You're talking.
I think he still would have got it. That wasn't his last game or nothing. I mean, yeah, it sounds like the guy's just a little salty. Is all it is. He's just a little salty about how that went down. But he, man, I'm telling you, I've never seen nobody disrespect Brett Favre like that. And yeah, It's just crazy. But yeah, back to the basketball. Got some score updates for you. Nothing really going on in college. No really good teams playing. I already looked those up. But so the Pacers beat Philadelphia tonight. Not really surprising. Cavaliers are still winning. Utah Jazz is beating the Suns right now. Clippers are up by 2. The Bulls are beating the Hornets. Not really a surprise there. Grizzlies are beating the Nets. Not really a surprise there. And the Timberwolves are beating the Lakers. And my Spurs play at 9 p.m. They're playing the Trailblazers, so they're about to start anytime now.
That's another team that never really just.
Is this Chauncey Billups last year, Portland?
Ooh.
When is that? When do they turn that over? I know that team is young. They don't have really nobody. Scoot Henderson hasn't really been the player I thought he would be.
I thought Scoot was going to be really good. Man. I don't know what it is about Portland, but they have had teams and just underperform. I mean, let's just be honest. You had Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge. You had Damian Lillard and LaMarcus Aldridge and C.J. McCollum. I mean, they always seem to be one player away, but they're so far over the cap all the time. But I don't understand how they're over the cap because they don't got no players. If they don't have. You got the Lakers or say Miami. They had freaking Bosh, Wade, Ray Allen, LeBron, and then up there they had Lillard and Aldridge, but they were $15 million over the cap. Miami was $1 million over the cap. Like, how does that work?
I don't know what they were doing, man. But I tell you what, LaMarcus Aldridge, he is, man,
underrated.
When he came to San Antonio, I remember I was on vacation, and I was in Gulf Course, Alabama. And I was sitting there watching because of speculation coming to San Antonio. His career ended short. I'm not sure if you knew, but he had a big heart issue.
Yes.
And he actually tried to come back and play. He went to the Brooklyn Nets I don't even think he did a whole season. LaMarcus Aldridge was one of the closest things to a Tim Duncan-ish type player. I'm not comparing him because Tim Duncan's way better, but like he was almost the replacement in a way. And I wanted to see him win one in San Antonio. I loved, and I still love LaMarcus Aldridge. He was outside of Tim Duncan and the Spurs, man. I loved him, man. I'm always a big man player. Like that was like my style. I was a power forward, center type player. So like I always watched a lot of those players. And LaMarcus Aldridge, I loved him so much. And I hate that he couldn't play longer because of the issues he was having. And I loved it when he came to San Antonio. And I hate that it went the way it went with him because I really thought that he could help bring one again outside of that big era, the big 3 era there in San Antonio. I thought it was going to be him and Kawhi and all that. And it just didn't happen. And I hate that his career was cut short.
Yeah.
So many good players' career was cut short, man. It's just I hate it for some like Brandon Roy, another player, career cut short. He was so good. Yeah, but I think Chauncey Billups' time is almost up in Portland.
It's got to be, but I don't know anybody that's safe either.
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't. We were talking about kind of Texas players and Aldridge and now Bosh. Did you ever see Bosh play? I know you might have been too young. At Lincoln?
I guess I didn't get to see him play in his younger years.
Dude, I'm talking high school. I'm talking about his senior year of high school.
No.
So his senior year of high school was probably one of the greatest senior years I've ever seen. And I watched a couple games. It was 2002 is when he graduated. So we went to the state tournament in 2002 just to watch. Me and a couple buddies went and watched. And he might be the greatest high school player I've ever seen. Listen to his stats. They were 40-0. He averaged 22 points, 12 rebounds a game, 3 blocks per game.
Holy crap.
70% from the free throw line and 46% from behind the arc. Okay? He was high school basketball player of the year in America, Powerade player of the year in Texas, first team All-American, first team All-State, Mr. Basketball in Texas. They won by an average of 27 points per game.
I'm assuming they won state.
Oh, yeah, they were 40-0. They were the number one team in the nation. They finished national champs.
What school? What high school did he go to?
Lincoln. Dallas Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln. Okay.
Yeah.
Now he didn't go to play. He didn't play college ball, right? He went straight to the NBA.
No, Georgia Tech.
Oh.
Yeah, he went to Georgia Tech. But yeah, he's unfreaking believable. And they were so good.
Yeah, I remember LaMarcus Aldridge at Texas. He was, man. I remember Kevin Durant at Texas. That dude was something else at Texas.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
I always wonder, we're talking about the what ifs. What if OKC doesn't break it up? Do they ever win one? What if they were so close? I mean, what if they never break up? Well, really, it was Harden and Durant because Westbrook stayed. But
I'll tell you this: if they never break up, James Harden that we know
doesn't come out.
If we knew what James Harden was going to be, that would be the biggest what if in NBA history, because he would have been the sixth man for the next 10 years if they never break up. And yeah, he would have got his points, but he wouldn't have dropped the triple doubles and 57-point games because he wouldn't have had the freedom he had in Houston. Because it would
obviously when he went to Houston, he was the guy. Like, that's always a what if for me. Is like, does Westbrook? I mean, not Westbrook. Does Durant? I mean, dang it, does Harden ever make that starting lineup with that team down the road if they stay together? Does he always stay the sixth man? Because if you look at it,
sucks is you almost needed him as the sixth man because your bench wasn't very good. And when Durant needed a break or Russ needed a break, you still wanted another option out there.
He was kind of like the Manu of San Antonio because Manu could have easily started. I mean, that we saw. I mean, of course, but he
and that's another thing that kills. And this is something that I talk to my oldest daughter about all the time. Like, know your role. Know your role. Don't worry about scoring all the points. Don't worry about making 3-pointers, or don't worry about getting all the rebounds. Know your role. Your role as a point guard is to run the offense, get everybody involved, and hustle on defense. That's who you are. I mean, I sent you the stat line from the other night. I mean, that's who you are. Let this play. Dennis Rodman is a perfect example of somebody who knew their role. There's a 5-game stretch where Rodman had 0 points per game and 21 or more rebounds in every game. In a 5-game stretch, he didn't care about scoring. His role was defense and rebounding. The greatest rebounder to ever play the game, Dennis Rodman, hands down. And that's what this game is missing, because if you're not a starter in the NBA now, if you're not a max contract player, if you're not this, well, I want to go to another team. I'm not starting on the Celtics where I might can go back and win me another title this year. I want to go start for Portland and be 13th in the West, but I'm a starter. But we're no good. Like, learn. Like, give me 5 or 6 minutes a game for the Celtics over 30 minutes for Portland, and being mediocre and nobody watching my games because I'm up in the Northwest.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game of basketball has changed in that aspect because, I mean, look at some of the best teams. Some of the best players came off the bench because they knew their role. Again, the Manus, Harden back in his day when he was with OKC. Think of the I'm trying to think of some other good off the bench players. Lou Williams. Lou Williams, one of the best 6-man players to ever play the game. He didn't care about starting. He was 6-man of the year. How many times?
Yeah, a ton.
Hey, I mean, there was Lou Williams, and then there was another kid, Jamal Crawford. I meant Jamal Crawford, not Lou Williams. Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford, one of the best 6-man players to ever play the game. He was a sharpshooter. Could have started for a lot of teams. I'm sure he started some, but he didn't. When you don't care about starting, if you care about winning over,
That's all. Yes.
If you care about winning, it's winning over. Hey, I want to be the guy. Like if you go to the Lakers right now, you have to accept your role. They already have LeBron. They have Anthony Davis. Like their best, Dalton Connect has again. He's phenomenal for that team. He's a starter now.
Yeah, the rookie. Yes.
He was. He's a starter now, but he didn't start out as a starter. Or he may be back and forth, but he's just playing his role, and he's playing phenomenal for them. If you have more people that will just play their role and help the team win and stop worrying about their own personal accolades or getting to that starter spot, I mean, work your way up. That's fine. But if you play your role and help your team win, you'll succeed more in sports, and that's for all sports, not just
That's yes.
Everything. Just like how Bryce Young, he's a prime example.
So is Dak. I mean, Dak wanted to get paid so bad. He wanted to get paid. And now look where we're at. We're in a financial catastrophe. Can't sign nobody. Don't got no money. Can't get an offensive line. But you got your money. So what do you do? What do you do? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we almost need the old generation. Like the times will change again in all sports. It's going to happen. Like the running back position needs to come back because it's
coming.
It's so detrimental to the game. In the NBA, the 3-point shot is all it's 3-point shooting. There's no big man game anymore. Very little. I want to see that again. Maybe it's because that's the style I like. That's the style I like to play. I mean, I like the motion. I like all the moving around. Like I still like how Golden State still runs that style of offense because it's not. And San Antonio does too, but they shoot more threes, and I hate it. Because I think a 2-point percentage is way better than the 3. You can bring the numbers up. I don't care. And the Golden State's best year, their 3-point shot is still never better than a 2-point shot because it's a higher percentage shot. It just is. Now, I understand Steph Clay, some of the best shooters to ever play the game. Undeniable. You can't deny that. But a 2-point shot is a way better percentage shot than a 3-point shot any day of the week. So I don't know how they go back to old school big man, but I don't know. I've just always liked that style, the old school style of basketball. I still like that era. I mean, one day there will be another Shaq. It's going to happen. I don't know when. So? Oh, yeah. There will be another Shaq one day. There will be another one. It's going to happen. It's time. I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime, but I think that another Shaq will happen again.
Yeah.
I think there will be another LeBron-ish type. It's going to happen. It will happen.
I will tell you this, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not the league is rigged, and this and that. That's not me at all.
No.
But I think the league needed somebody, and I think LeBron hit at the right time, and they ran with it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that there was a little bit of favoritism, and they saw maybe the potential that he had. And he's a good player. I mean, I'm not knocking him at all, but I just think he just hit at the right time. I mean, they needed somebody. I'm not gonna say the league was dying, but there was a couple years where it struggled, and he came in and more or less. I don't want to say saved it, but I mean he saved it. I mean,
and then just like when Steph Curry came in, it was the same way. Same way.
They completely changed it, and all the scoring started happening, and everybody enjoyed the scoring, and so, that's I don't know, man. That's really all I got.
There will be another big man coming at some point. It's going to happen.
It could be Zach Edey. Zach Edey's playing great.
He's so good.
The only thing that's going to hurt right now is to play in the NBA, a big man, guard, whatever. You've got to be able to shoot the three. Until that changes, there'll never be another true big man. I mean, even Joel Embiid and Jokic shoot threes. You know what I mean? So, like, there's going to have to come a time where a coach, and it's got to start with a coach. The coach is going to say, hey, you're going to be a big guy. If I see you shoot a three, you're coming out. You need to have your butt on the block. We're going to feed you the rock, and you're going to score. Because then teams are going to have to say, hey, you don't need to go out to the block. We need to get a post that can guard a post, not a stretch five, because stretch fives are smaller than posts.
What do you think about that number 1 overall recruit? Did you see him on ESPN the other day?
Which one? Oh, yes, going to BYU.
BYU? That kid right there.
Man, there's a big controversy with that. So the two biggest boosters for BYU are tied to the Utah Jazz. The owner of the Utah Jazz and like the owner's daughter.
So that's why they're so bad.
Or something. Well, yeah, but they're saying that's the way that things are going to start happening now, because now they're saying that Utah's going to tank next year for this kid.
He's good. Oh, I've seen some tape of him. He's good.
But so that's going to be like, just say Jordan. I'm just going to throw Jordan out there, and I know he's not part of it anymore. But Jordan telling a kid, "Hey, come to North Carolina, and you're going to be the number 1 pick next year, because we're not gonna not tank for you, but we're not very good." That's the kind of stuff that it's turning into.
$7 million? Oh
yeah.
My God! I forgot the NIL is in basketball now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it was tied to. It's all tied to that, to the donors, the Utah owner and stuff. It's all tied in there. That's why. Wow. So
hey, he said he would love to play for San Antonio. Not going to happen because San Antonio's not tanking. Yeah, they're trying to get better. Well, he would be great on that team, but
speaking of San Antonio, I would love LaMelo Ball in San Antonio.
Man, we were just talking about this.
We talked about it when Sunday, I think. Wednesday.
I want him or Trae Young to find their like. I think LaMelo Ball would be a better shot because of how bad Charlotte is, and he is out of the ball kids. He is the best. He is still playing.
Oh yeah.
Lonzo can't get healthy. I think his career is over just because he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
But LaMelo, I would actually love Melo.
I think this is Trae Young's last year in Atlanta.
I would love to have LaMelo or Trae Young in San Antonio, and if that was to happen, that team, you keep Chris Paul, put him as your backup.
Yeah.
That team right there is instantly better. They're definitely a playoff team at that point. They could make the playoffs this year. Playing in, I don't think they'll squeeze above a 7 seed, but I definitely think that would be. See, here's the problem I have. My two of my favorite teams, the Cowboys and the Spurs, I swear you would think they were ran by the same people, because San Antonio is not a big go-getter. They're a draft team. They draft, they build around
draft
that.
And staff.
Like LaMarcus was one of their biggest signees. Those players like the LaMelos, the Trae Youngs, they would have to push San Antonio. Hey, I want to come there. That's how they come.
Yeah.
Because, and the same with Dallas, the same way. They're not a big go-getter. Even though Derrick Henry was like, hey, I want to come there, Jerry Jones still said, screw you. We're not paying you $8 million a year. Just go play for Baltimore and, go have a chance to win for a championship. We're just going to stay with Rico Dowdle over here and Zeke Elliott. So, I mean, I in some ways, I wish the Spurs, R.C. Buford's still there. I love him. Obviously, you can't knock what he's done. He's won 5 championships, but that time, that era has to change, and I hope and pray they go get somebody like a Trae Young or LaMelo next year, because I don't think, I mean, LaMelo could leave before the trade deadline if they were willing to trade him to San Antonio, but the thing is, they're going to demand a lot for him.
Yes.
The demand for him. So the best option for San Antonio is to keep their picks, to keep their young players, is to get these guys in the offseason.
Yeah.
I hope so because I think they get better. But yeah, I would love that. I think LaMelo would complement because he's a great passer. He can score. He is their only scorer in Charlotte. So I mean, he does a lot. He has his percentage is not the greatest because he is the guy.
Brandon Miller hasn't.
He's shot. Brandon Miller has gotten better though. I do
He's
give
gotten
him
better.
He's definitely better this year than he was his rookie year. Last year, he was not the player I thought he would be, but he's definitely had a better year this year. But even just with that, they're just not very good. And I hope that LaMelo wants to come because I'll take him all day. He's a really good player, and he's young, and he just would complement that team. Yeah, I mean, I hope something like that was to happen for sure. I'm glad Dallas is doing better. They're getting their act together finally.
Dallas by 20 Sunday.
Who they got? Who are they playing?
Carolina. Oh, you're talking about the Mavs.
Well, I forgot about that game.
Cowboys.
Cowboys
by 20. Cooper Rush, MVP type of numbers. three tutties. CeeDee Lamb, you're getting 2 of them. I need it. I got to win to make the playoffs in my fantasy this week.
Yeah, I hope Dallas can beat Carolina. That would not be a good loss because I told you that Carolina team is competitive, man. They're being competitive. I hope they don't slip one in Carolina. If they slip one, I'm sorry, but I think it would be the Carolina for some reason. Just the way this year's gone, it would be a surprise.
That'll be the one. We'll lose to them, win out. That'll be the one game that keeps us out of the playoffs, and we'll have the 19th pick in the draft.
Dallas, they should have kept losing. They were better off losing than to win. Oh, man. So tomorrow, 9:45, we have another guest coming on. We're excited about him.
Yes.
He goes to Texas High. He's a commit to the University of Hardy, if I'm correct.
Yes, and they've won, I think, 2 of the last 4 national championships.
What are they? Are they Division 2, 3?
I think they're 3.
Okay.
But again, we don't matter to us. Come on.
I mean, a championship's a championship at any level.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. I do want to kind of update some high school scores here. We did this last Friday. Not a lot of. I mean, there's quite a few good games. You got Highland Park and Denton Ryan. They're tied up 21-21. South Oak Cliff has beaten Argyle 37-7. You got Byrne and Richmond Randall, 21-7 Richmond. Salina and Canyon West, 21-17 Salina. Kilgore, Salina just scored again, so it's 28-17. My bad. Kilgore is beating Laverna 24-7. Carthage is beating Brock 45-17. Waco La Vega is beating Wimberley 56-35. And Gunner and Wall. Gunner beat Wall 42-32. So we got state next weekend. That's exciting. I love. I sit there and I watch every game, man. It's exciting. I love watching high school football, especially state games. They're fun to watch. Get to see some of the best athletes. Some of the best, not all of them. Some of them already got beat. We did have some good games. Really, really good games tomorrow. Man, like really good games tomorrow. You got Smith and Valley West playing Angleton. You got Longview and South Lake Carroll.
The best game tomorrow is North Crowley Duncanville.
North Crowley Duncanville. Then you got Austin Westlake and North Shore. That's a game. Then you got Austin Vandergrift and Humboldt Summer Creek. So some good games in high school Texas football this weekend. I know, not biased, but hey, the state of football is some of the best football you can watch.
Easily, without a doubt.
It's awesome. So I'm gonna be watching some of those. I'm watching the Carthage game now, but it's about to be over.
Yeah.
Some really good games, man. Excited about tomorrow having our guest on, and then we will be Sunday as well. We have another guest. Derek, who is that Sunday?
Gage, the Ore City quarterback.
Oh,
Yes,
Ore
that's
City,
right.
super local kid down the road from Derek.
7 minutes from my house to the football stadium. Straight down.
So we're excited.
259.
We're super excited about that because he's going to a college we have never heard of. I didn't know. I mean, know nothing about. So we're excited.
But it's actually D2. And so it's especially so a lot of people don't know about Ore City, but super small school. Historically haven't been great in sports ever. So for a kid to get a scholarship out of there, it's massive.
It's huge.
And so,
I think the best thing to ever come out of Ore City was that actor. I can't think of his name.
Oh, the Sheldon.
Young Sheldon actor.
The guy playing on Young Sheldon. Yeah. Yep.
Every time I think Ore City, that's like the thing I think about. So now we don't have to think about them. Now we have an athlete.
Little plug for my sister at Wildroot. She actually got to shoot Montana Jordan. That's his name, Montana Jordan.
Yeah, Montana Jordan. Yeah.
She got to shoot his family pictures.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, right on his land in Ore City. They reached out to him, to her to shoot the pictures. So
was that recently or was that just in the past?
It was this year.
Oh wow,
it was in this year.
So cool.
Yeah. So it was.
Hey, if you could, now I don't know if she needs to reach out to them, but see if you can get some pictures. We'll plug them into her ad. I don't know if that's a thing she needs to get with them about because obviously he's a star. So like I know there's something there. But if you can get a couple pictures of them, and if they're okay with putting them in her ad for our show, we would love to do that. That'd be
pretty cool.
But yeah, so 9:45 tomorrow we'll have our other guest on, and yeah. So if you have nothing else, we're gonna end the show and see y'all back in the morning about 9:45 or so.
All right, buddy.
Everybody have a good night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.